Hi, my name is David. This is my project for Engineering 267 in Oregon Tech. Let's get into my Labview project here. I combined a function generator and an oscilloscope. First knob is the big one, that's frequency. As you can see, it modifies the frequency as you go up and down. And there's a multiplier set in a logarithmic scale, so you can bring it up to even higher frequencies, all the way up to, hundreds of thousands of cycles per second. And then we bring it back down because it's easier to see, and we can actually change the wave type to square, sawtooth, sine, or even all the way to just a plain DC signal. The DC signal is really easy to see the offset. You can move it up and down, set to 0. You can also add uniform and Gaussian noise individually. So here's uniform noise on, but the amplitude is set at 0. So we can increase the amplitude and you can see the noise get formed. Or we can decrease it. We can turn it back off. We can also turn on Gaussian noise, which is set at a standard deviation level, or we can increase that, decrease it, and that works on all of the different waveforms as well. We can also change the amplitude of the waveform, up or down, turn the noise off so it's easier to see, and all of these have been getting their measurements taken on the right here. We also have a duty cycle for the square wave. It's set at 50%, which is pretty normal. Button to turn on and off the signal, so that turns it off and now nothing changes. We can turn it back on and now it's outputting a signal again. There's also a button to save, which saves it to a file in the project folder. And then we go to the oscilloscope, which is showing the waveform from the function generator. They're hooked together. This also has a vertical control to move the waveform up and down, or it can just be reset to 0. Shows the amplitude and frequency exactly of the waveform that's input, as well as some other measurements on the right here. It also allows for changing of the oscilloscope graph in volts per division, so that changes the Y scale to get a better view, or milliseconds per division, that changes the X scale, so we can bring it down to one small waveform. And then we also have a fast Fourier transform analysis in one graph here at the bottom. There's also lastly a cursor, so we can bring up for exact measurements, and if the cursor is lost, there's even a cursor display to kind of move it around. Lastly, there's even one more save button to save this oscilloscope function to a file, and if we want, we can trigger it based on the rise and fall of the wave, and you can see it stops just at a single waveform there. And we can stop the saving to file, reset the time that it's elapsed of saving in that file, and if Labview would respond, it saves. And that's my project.